Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay. How? Episode 38. What is up, you guys? I'll be totally upfront with you this week. I am immensely bummed out by the constant barrage of horrible news in this country. Unfortunately, there is never a dull moment, and I would give anything for a dull moment at this point. You know what I mean? I don't want to see a train wreck every single day, every single waking minute of every single day with no end in sight. Me personally, I don't like it. It really bums me out. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody's, super stoked on it. There are some people who are super stoked on violence, but it's not me. Frank, just come up. Come on. I do have a stack over here that we're going to get into, but yeah. The release of the files, you know which ones I'm talking about, have plagued me. They have plagued me. I am man, dude, it's bad. It's all bad. The ICE thing is bad. Everything is a fucking bummer. And if you're stoked on any of it, or like a lot of people are stoked on the ICE thing and silent on the old files thing. And that says a lot about you. That says a lot about you and what you're happy to tolerate. It's pretty embarrassing, in my opinion. The party of Protect the Children, kind of crickets right now. But yeah, I think the whole thing's just a big bummer. And someone like me who is, and I really hate to say this, but it is true. I am a, true crime consumer, right? I be watching Bailey Sarian. I be watching Crime Weekly. I be watching Kendall Ray. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, consuming true crime is one thing, but I think that a lot of people who do watch content like that, I think that the main not objective, but the main thing is like getting justice in the end. Watching the perpetrator get caught, evidence be collected correctly, law enforcement taking their job seriously, and just like the whole investigation process and the commitment that law enforcement and other people have to put into it to get to the bottom of it. Convict someone, put them in jail. I'm not a huge fan of the death penalty because, people be getting wrongly convicted. The system is far from perfect. It's fully rigged and terrible. But at the end of the day, you want the perpetrator to be caught and you want justice for the victim. I fear that there's this very dystopian vibe right now after this release where everyone's like, okay, we can move on now. We can just move on. And you guys got the files. You wanted them so bad. Here they are. Good luck reading those. You'll never recover from some of this stuff that you're going to read about and see. And good luck poisoning your brain with the worst possible thing that you could ever. A room full of professional horror movie writers couldn't come up with some of the stuff that's in there. You know what I mean? You can't make it up. So yeah, they're like, good luck reading it. And anyway, the job market is crashing, and we're invading other countries because we love oil, and there's so many other things we're doing that's so cool and cute and quirky. So let's move on. And there is no indication that anyone's going to be held responsible for doing some of the stuff that's in these damn files. And that is a fucking bummer to me. I don't really be watching true crime stuff that's about kids anyway. I mean, I did used to watch, To Catch a Predator. That was pretty satisfying. And I remember there was this episode of To Catch a Predator where this guy came, you guys know the fucking show. They lure the guy to the fucking, and it's always a man, by the way. Lure him to the house, with the prospects of, doing what he wants to do, which is illegal. And this one guy came to the house, and the decoy was in the other room, and she's like, I'm just getting dressed, like, I'm putting my laundry away, blah, 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 I'll be right out, And Chris Hansen comes out, it's the whole thing, or whatever, and he starts reading back the transcripts, right? That was always my favorite thing that Chris Hansen did. Okay. And I did watch that Chris Hansen documentary recently, and it wasn't great. I mean, the documentary was well done, but the information that we learned was not great. You know what I mean? He was kind of ruining some lives. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm not doing a review of that doc in this moment. But yeah, he was reading back the transcripts, and this particular predator was talking to this young lady, and he was asking her to do weird stuff to her cat. And in my head, I was like, what the hell is this guy's fucking problem? And he really thinks he's going to get a hold of this cat in this session too, where he thinks he's going to get a hold of this little girl. And he also undresses. He gets completely nude in the kitchen of this random little girl's house, not knowing that it is a sting operation. So when Chris Hansen comes around the corner, this guy's fucking butt ass naked with absolute demon eyes. The intent in this man was demonic. Okay. And back in the day when I was doing stand-up, I wrote a stand-up joke about this. And obviously this is not a joke, a very serious situation. But my whole joke was like telling a story about how dozens and dozens and dozens of men are trapped into these sting operations like every day. It's like never ending, dude. It's never ending. You can capture them at any moment of any day and any time. They are going to be there. They do not fucking learn. That's what I'm trying to say. They do not fucking learn. And I'm like, yeah. And they want to do crazy stuff to these little girls. And this one guy wanted to do crazy stuff to her cats. And I was thinking to myself, I can't believe this kind of stuff is happening out there to cats. Okay, that was supposed to be the stand-up joke about how, like, it was crazy that even cats were involved into this. But at the end of the day, it's not a fucking joke, dude. It's not a joke. It's a fucking epidemic, dude. It's an epidemic, and it's being perpetrated by the highest people in power with seemingly complete immunity. And that is a very, very scary notion. Okay. I don't like to listen to stories like this, because I fear there will be no justice in the end. And you know what? It's probably still going. There's probably another fucking ringleader. It's probably still happening. Like, what's going on the island? You know what I mean? What is happening on the island? Because you know what? It's like in Animal Crossing, when you don't sign in for a long time and you go back to your island and all of the trees and plants are overgrown, there's cockroaches in your house, you have to smash the cockroaches, all of your neighbors on the island are like, oh my god, it's been so long since we've seen you, blah blah blah. Is that what the island's looking like right now, or is it still bussin'? Is it still poppin'? What is going on over there? Somebody do a raid. Or maybe they have. I don't really have all the research, you guys. I can't read that deep into it. It's too painful for me to do. But yeah, this whole week has been such a fucking bummer, dude. The ice of it all and the files of it all and the fucking doom and fucking gloom, which is crazy because I've had some really good wins in my own personal life and some really good like expansion and areas that I've been like really working on, and I can't even enjoy it because there's so much suffering, not only in like the world, like the globe at large, but right here in my neighborhood, in my country, in my state. It's just doom and fucking gloom. So yeah, I wanted to start by saying that because the attitude today isn't great, and I do apologize for. Well, I don't apologize for that. You know what I mean? I'm only human. I can't come in here and turn blind eye, so to speak. So, justice for the victims of both the old files and of the old, iced beverages, people who get thrown ice on them. You know what I mean? If you get what I mean. Save your communities. Be there for your neighbors. Keep a lookout. And I guess we got to keep fighting, dude. We got to keep fighting. So anyway, I didn't really have a topic for today's episode. I do not want to spend the entire episode talking about all the tragedies of the world. If you're like me, you've seen them every day, all day, every day for the last year and a half. So since I've been in doom and gloom mode, yesterday I did a little nesting. I watched some Disney movies. I watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame or Dame or whatever. And that movie is cruel as hell, by the way. Very cruel. Oh, I meant to watch Big Hero 6. That's the one I wanted to watch. I'll watch that later. Anyway, while I was watching some movies, I thought, what would be cool is if I clean out this little it's like a locker credenza that I've had for a million years, and I always want to get rid of it, but there's a lot of stuff inside of it that I never really feel like I should get rid of. But I did go through it last night. I did keep a lot of the stuff inside, so technically I can't get rid of it because there still is stuff inside. But what I did find in there was my collection of DVDs. Okay, I think someone's DVD collection could say a lot about them, especially if you are millennial, I guess. Maybe Gen X would relate to this, but it's like you grew up in a house that your parents collected DVDs. I mean, my family and I used to go to DVD Planet. I don't know if you guys remember that spot. We used to go to DVD Planet and we would, be able to pick out a couple of DVDs. They usually had like a $5 bin and stuff like that at DVD Planet. People really liked collecting physical media back in the day. And so, yeah. And Big Lots always had a $5 bin as well. We will see some of those here. But for when I moved out of my home, streaming services were just kind of popping off. It was just around the area where Netflix was still doing the DVD mail-in situation. But yeah, streaming started to become, more prevalent. And so it wasn't super serious to buy DVDs, right? I did have a DVD player back in the day. When I moved into this apartment, what was that, like 9 years ago or whatever, I didn't have money for Wi-Fi for like the first 2 months that I lived here. I spent all my money moving in. So I didn't have Wi-Fi for like 2 months. And in that juncture of my life, I really appreciated having my DVD collection because I could still watch stuff. Okay. So yeah, I couldn't get on my computer. Like my phone, I was using all my data on my phone, and I was sharing data with my family plan. My dad was getting pissed. It was a whole thing. So anyway, I was watching some DVDs, back in the day when I first got this apartment. And anyway, I'm in my unemployment journey. I'm at the point of my unemployment journey where I'm like, what could I sell? What do I have that I could sell? Because I got to get some kind of money coming in. And, and sadly, I don't really have a lot of items of value, to be honest. They're valuable to me, but they're not valuable to anybody else. So I've been kind of struggling. I've been kind of looking. And so last night when I went through the locker, I said, okay, maybe I can sell these DVDs. Will I end up in a situation where I don't have Wi-Fi again? Probably, and maybe I shouldn't get rid of these DVDs. But at the end of the day, this collection is hilarious, and I wanted to go through it with you to keep it lighthearted for today, to help me escape the world at large, and we'll have you escape as well. So this is probably going to be a shorter episode, but excuse me, I have like a dry throat all of a sudden. Okay, so let's go through some of the DVDs that I have. And if you know anywhere, how do you even sell DVDs anymore? Can you still sell your DVDs to GameStop? I don't know. But I don't know if anybody would want these DVDs. All right, we're starting out strong with Hamlet 2. I don't fucking know why I have this DVD. I do not know why I have Hamlet 2. I actually love this dude. Who is this guy? What's his fucking Steve Coogan? Is that his name? This movie is crazy. It has David Arquette in it. I forgot about that. Yeah, this movie is crazy. One high school drama teacher is about to make a huge number 2 in this wildly irreverent and completely outrageous movie from the producers of Little Miss Sunshine, which is a really good movie, by the way. When this school's... No, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Anyway, Hamlet 1, I don't think I watched that, but I have Hamlet 2 on DVD. Next up here we have Clueless, a classic, a legend in cinematography as a whole. And it's still wrapped in plastic, as you can see. I probably saw this in a $5 bin and I said, oh, I need this for my collection. You know what I mean? This is a fucking heirloom at this point. Okay, I don't know if you went to high school with me, but if you did, you would know that my friends and I were obsessed with Anchorman. Now, this right here is peak millennial humor, okay? Watching this movie now, I don't know what we saw in it. I mean, I do know what we saw in it, but it's so cringy. The humor is so cringy. But the cast is unstoppable. You know what I mean? Paul Rudd, Will Ferrell, what's that bitch's name? What is her? Christina Applegate, legend. Fucking legend, dude. Yeah, this whole thing is, it was a whole movement. This movie was a whole movement. And of course I have it on DVD. Bruno. Why do I have Bruno on DVD? I do not know. You can see the Big Lots sticker on the front. So I did probably get this for $5 in a Big Lots bin. RIP Big Lots. They are out of business now. We can't have anything nice anymore, but it's still wrapped in plastic. So maybe GameStop will take Bruno. Wow, why do I have that? Okay, this one is, this is when they came with the fancy covers. This is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Is this the first installment of the Austin Powers situation? I think it is, but this is the kind of DVD that you open like that. It's got the little clip on the outside. Wow, look at what we have here, you guys. This is a relic. This is a relic. Gen Z just does not understand physical media and how important and kind of what a flex it was to kind of own stuff like this back in the day. And here I am trying to sell it. Okay, another very classic movie that withstood the test of time, Step Brothers. That's a good movie to have on DVD. I'm not going to lie. If you do not have Wi-Fi, but you have a DVD player, and you pop this bad boy on, you will not regret it. It's good. It's good cinema. And same thing with this one. Grandma's Boy. Grandma's Boy, also millennial humor. When did this come out? I wish they would put the date on here for when this came out. It doesn't look like they have dates on these. 20th Century Fox, Happy Madison Productions. Totally hilarious and now totally unrated. So here's another fun fact for you Gen Z, youngins. They used to release movies and then like 6 months later they would release the unrated version, which had maybe a nipple in it. Maybe. It was not, there was no reason to make a second film. That reminds me, well, this was a reason, but it reminds me of Titanic when that came out. There was no DVDs when Titanic came out. On VHS, girl. They did not have DVDs when that came out, to take home, watch at home type shit. But Titanic was notoriously a very long movie. It's about 3 hours long. I think it is maybe over 3 hours long, which, in 1998 when it came out, a 3-hour movie was unheard of. Even though our attention spans were actually pretty good back then. If there was any time to write a 3-hour movie, it was then. But people were like, wow, 3 hours, that's crazy. And that was like all the CGI and stuff. James Cameron, he really did his big one with that. But when they came out with the DVD, it was this whole situation where they couldn't fit the whole movie on one VHS. Because like I said, no DVDs back then. They couldn't fit the whole movie on one VHS, so they had to put it on two VHSs. So when you watched it at home, you plugged in the VHS and you watched it. It was like 90 minutes or whatever, and then it would stop. And then you would have to take the other VHS and put it in so you could finish the movie. It was like the first of its kind, I think, or at least in my lifetime. But I remember because my brother is like obsessed with Titanic. He's like obsessed with ships. And when that movie came out, I remember we all went to the theater to see it. And I remember I was like, wow, Celine Dion is the baddest bitch ever. Like Olivia Rodrigo could never. And I pretty much sang My Heart Will Go On every day for like 7 years. That was like my song. I sang it for auditions. I sang it like in the shower. I sang it in my room. I sang it to my dolls. I made performances. I made my parents sit down and watch me sing that song. A tragic song. A very tragic song. I was obsessed with it. I was 8. I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? So, that was the whole situation with I don't know why I brought that up. Okay, here we go. We have another classic Will Ferrell. I can just basically have Will Ferrell's fucking complete filmography here. But this is old school. Unrated and out of control. Here we go again with the unrated version. Okay? I don't know why they seem to want to do that all the time. And is this his dog? Because where's the Anchorman dog? Oh no, that's a different dog. It kind of looks like the same dog. Anyway, yeah, some of these actors, even the dogs, we're seeing again and again and again in my collection. Okay, next up, Inglourious Bastards. A movie that, while we don't really like Quentin Tarantino anymore, he's really got something to say about everybody these days. So, we don't love that. But this is a movie that a lot of you bootlickers need to watch. Unfortunately, this is kind of a historical lesson for you. You are going to need to watch this movie, and make sure you take notes. Make sure you take notes when you watch this film, because it's a lesson. So that one is for you. Next up here, hold on. I'm going to save the best for last. Oh, here we go. Gold Member. I knew I had another one. This is the one with Beyonce. Gold Member, Austin Powers. Beyonce Knowles, dude, she was looking good too. I can't believe she did this movie. That was crazy. To find out what she became later and the fact that she did this back in the day, crazy. I think I should watch those actually. The Austin Powers movies. Fun bunch. They probably don't age well, if I had to guess. There's probably a lot of sexist stuff in there. Okay, here we are turning to a horror movie which withstands the test of time as well. This is some of the scariest shit you'll ever see. This is When a Stranger Calls. Okay. With, what's her name? Carol Kane. This movie is so fucking scary, and this is the fucking movie where she's a babysitter, okay? And this is back in the day. It's probably like from the 80s or the 90s. She's a babysitter, and somebody keeps calling the phone, and when she answers it, they go, "Have you checked the children?" And the children are like obviously upstairs sleeping. It's nighttime. "Have you checked the children?" And then she goes up there and they're like missing, I think. They're like not in their bedrooms. It's so fucking creepy. And at one point, oh my God, this is a spoiler, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because this movie's from the fucking 70s or whatever. This is the movie in where we get the fucking line that everybody likes to use nowadays. The call is coming from inside the house. Okay, that's a line that a lot of people use now for a lot of, very accurate, funny ways to use it, to be honest. Keep using it. If I'm not being clear, continue to use it. But this is where it originated from. Okay. But basically she calls the cops. She calls the police and she's like, "Hey, someone keeps calling the house. They keep saying, 'Have you checked the children?' I checked them and they're fine." She checks them a couple times. They're fine. And then, at some point they go missing or something. I can't remember what happens to the kids. I usually don't care about the kids in stories like this, but anyway, she calls the cops and they're like, "You need to stay on the line with the person next time they call so we can trace the call," right? In the 80s, between the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, tracing a call was like, you got to be on the phone with them for like 7 minutes and then we can trace the call. It was very difficult to keep a perpetrator on the phone for 7 minutes. If we've seen any movies from this era, you know that. But anyway, she ends up keeping him on the phone, and then the cops call her, and that's when they reveal to her that the call is coming from inside the house. How was the perpetrator calling her from inside the house? I do not remember, because cell phones did not exist in those days. So I don't know if he was using like another landline inside the house to call her and she was downstairs. I don't fucking remember. But you know what? Low key, we need to watch this movie again. But the thing I wanted to do the spoiler about is that the perpetrator is inside the home. Very, very spooky stuff. He's inside the home. He's taunting her via phone calls and all this kind of stuff. At one point, she's in the house and she's treading lightly, right? She's like, "What?" This is after she finds out that calls come from the side of the house. And she's like, "This motherfucker is in here somewhere." Of course, it's a fucking 2-story mansion or whatever, because everybody fucking had huge homes back in the day. they're working at the fucking grocery store as a clerk and they have a fucking 2-story house with fucking 7 acres or whatever. Anyway, that's beside the point. She's tiptoeing around the fucking house. Okay. The lights are down. It's kind of dark in there. This fucking dude painted his whole body the texture of the wall, and he's standing there right in the open against the wall, but the lights are down so she can't tell he's standing there. And then she like doesn't see him and she passes by, and then he like opens his eyes and you can see the whites of his eyes. Oh my God, bitch. That is the scariest fucking shit you've ever seen. You will be so deeply disturbed by this movie. I think I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again because, yeah, dude, she's got the rodeo phone, rotary phone. Dude, when he fucking does the body paint, he fucking ate with that. He ate with that, dude. I don't remember how it ends, but that's a movie worth having on DVD right there, bitch. The call's coming from inside the house. If you ever wonder where that fucking line came from, it's from this fucking movie. So, I don't know. Maybe my collection isn't so bad. This one I'm not very proud of, but I did really love this movie. The Ringer. This is probably really inappropriate now. I don't see this winning any awards. Oh, there's like a giant scratch on this. So I probably won't sell this one. I don't think I can profit off of this movie. It wasn't in good yeah. This is literally Johnny Knoxville pretending to be to have like special needs to get into the Special Olympics. This movie's fucking funny, but yeah, I'm not really proud to have that one. And there's a giant scratch on it, so we'll go ahead and throw that one out. Okay, I was just talking to somebody about John Leguizamo. Okay, a legend, to be honest. He's doing a lot of one-man shows now about like his upbringing and his culture, and it's actually really awesome, and he's really funny and like cool, and I love a one-man show, especially from like a legend like him. But did you guys ever see The Pest? Oh hell yeah, dude. The Pest is one of the worst movies ever made, probably, but my brother and I used to watch it all the time. And the opening scene of him fucking taking a shower and like singing, I can't even, dude, I don't even know. But I heard the song in a restaurant recently when I was with my friend. And I was like, oh, this song reminds me of The Pest. And they were like, what the fuck is The Pest? I'm like, John Leguizamo. You don't fucking know? Yeah, The Pest is kind of classic, dude. And look at this whole style that he's wearing. Like, this is what you guys are wearing now. If you're Gen Z, you're probably dressing like this right now. So, that's pretty cool. Okay, top favorite movie of all time. Can't live without a hard copy. Horrible Bosses. Not to be confused with Horrible Bosses 2. Well, I did like Horrible Bosses 2. It does not stand up to Horrible Bosses 1. This is the funniest fucking movie ever. I love the cast. Kevin Spacey. We can't have anything nice. As soon as you are a fan of something or someone, it turns out that they or it is a bad person or thing. What are you gonna fucking do, dude? There is no downtime. Just let me love this movie. This is a fucking funny movie. I love a dumb comedy like this. I think the twist is good. Jennifer Aniston does her big one in this too. She's fucking funny. I'm just saying, this is a fucking good movie. This is like my top 1 favorite movie next to Shrek, which I do not have on DVD, and that is an issue. And every day I fear, what if I don't have my streaming services? How will I watch Shrek? I skip streaming services. Like, I only get Paramount if Shrek's on there. And then if Shrek is not on Paramount anymore, I'll be closing that. I'll be closing it out. Okay? And then I'm like, oh, Shrek's on Peacock now. I'll sign up for that. I go where Shrek goes. Okay? And that's how I do cinema. Okay, next up is a 3-for-1. I don't know how I got this, a triple feature of the Ernest movies. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Ernest movies, but low key, I got this for Ernest Scared Stupid. Okay, this is when Ernest finds or awakens like some ghouls on Halloween or something, and they start like terrorizing this neighborhood with all these kids in it. I can't remember exactly what happens. When Ernest looks to help some children with their Halloween haunted house, he ends up accidentally unleashing an evil troll that intends to bring about the end of the world. The stakes are high. The stakes are very high, guys. Yeah, my brother and I used to watch Ernest Scared Stupid a lot. Okay, do I remember Ernest Goes to Camp? Not really. Ernest Goes to Jail? Not really. But this past Christmas, I did watch Ernest Saves Christmas, which is bad. It's bad. These are not good movies, but I do recommend watching Ernest Scared Stupid. It's actually pretty spooky, dude. The troll is scary and gross. So I do recommend it, at some point that you watch that. Next up, I did get these from a friend. I fear I don't need them, but I do have some box sets of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You guys know that I do live and breathe It's Always Sunny. And every experience that I have in my life can relate back to an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for me. Some people have that with like Friends or with The Office, or it doesn't matter what happens. There is always an episode I can relate it back to, and it's usually with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So maybe I should keep these. I don't know. Some of the things are missing. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see if I can get any bucks for this, but yeah. Okay, not really one for a rom-com. Not a huge fan of rom-coms, like in general, but this movie is good, and you cannot convince me that it's not. Crazy Stupid Love. Okay, we are a Ryan Gosling household. We are not a Ryan Reynolds household. We are a Ryan Gosling household here. Okay? So, Crazy Stupid Love, the twist is crazy. Okay, we got Emma Stone, we got Steve Carell. It's a good lineup. And I highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it, especially since, the old holidays coming up, Valentine's Day. I would recommend this movie. I have it on DVD, probably got in a $5 bin. That's how I roll. I don't know why the fuck I have The Social Network. I probably just got this just to add to the collection. I mean, it's a good movie, but Armie Hammer's in it. And he like eats people and stuff, I think. So, or maybe he doesn't. That's alleged. I don't know what happened with him. There was some kind of cannibal thing going on with him. But he's in this movie. He plays a twin. I'm pretty sure. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, Justin Timberlake's in this. I don't know why the fuck I have this. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I do like this Heisenberg guy. Eisenberg Jesse. Whatever his name is. It's a good movie. Okay, so again, another movie. We don't really like Quentin Tarantino anymore, but Django Unchained is a fucking legendary story that I love. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, when you look back on these Quentin Tarantino movies, and the language is very intense, okay? And it's not something that I'm going to defend. However, Jamie Foxx eats in this movie hardcore, and I love Christoph Waltz's character in this movie too. So I also recommend this one, and I am not surprised that I have it on DVD. I used to love Quentin Tarantino, dude, but I'm evolved now and enlightened, and so, Okay, here is one that I am not surprised I have on DVD. It's a very favorite movie amongst my family, and that is A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. Gone Too Soon. R.I.P. This movie is amazing. The soundtrack is incredible. Kids, look, we used to have little inserts when you got physical media. And when you watch DVDs, there's the scene breakdown. You don't have to fast forward through the whole thing. You just go to the scene breakdown. You pick which scene you want to watch. That was a crazy concept, you guys. Watching DVDs was like insane. Was it not? So that was a period piece that wasn't even period. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like a mixture because the soundtrack was so modern. And it was Heath Ledger, and he's so amazing. Okay, here we have Practical Magic. This one I should probably watch soon because I haven't seen it in such a long time, and I am in my witchy era. There's a little witch in every woman, and bitch, that's true. If you were to harness your power for once, you would okay, spirit, you would understand that you're very powerful as a woman. So Practical Magic, that is a classic. Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, can't really go wrong with those two. Okay, what's next? I do not know why I have Kind of a Funny Story. I barely remember this movie. I probably only got it because it's Zach Galifianakis and I really love him, or loved. I haven't really seen him in a while. I don't know what he's been in for a while. It's got Emma Roberts. I don't fucking know why I have this. It's not even a favorite movie of mine. Okay. Second to last, Dodgeball. Okay. Dodgeball came out in the same era as Anchorman. And it's very obvious. It's very apparent. This is millennial humor at its peak. But you know what? Ben Stiller is fucking amazing. And look how they used to make the DVDs. They made it a dodgeball. How freaking cool is that? And the inserts again, you know? We used to have cool stuff. Buying physical media was cool at one point. I'm sure it's still cool. I haven't bought a DVD in a million years. But this is a true underdog story. So, damn. Okay, and the last one, which I will not be getting rid of because at the end of days during the zombie apocalypse, I will still need this movie in my possession. And that is, this is the end. This is like top 3 favorite movie. Okay, I think it's funny. I love this cast, except for James Franco. Again, we can't have anything nice. At some point, we're going to find out that everybody that we loved was a raper at one point. You know what I mean? Like, we just really can't have anything nice. So, aside from him, I think everyone else in this lineup, except for Jonah Hill, too. God damn it. I watch this movie as if I don't know anything about anyone. I don't know any news. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just watching it, okay? Because this movie's fucking funny. This movie is funny. Seth Rogen is still the GOAT. And, you know, there's a drug sequence like there's always is in Seth Rogen movies. Danny McBride is... I fucking love Danny McBride. I'm not going to get into it because it is not appropriate for 444 for YouTube. But I really love Danny McBride. It's just a good fucking lineup, dude. Oh, I think Craig also did a rape too. God damn it, Craig Robinson. I don't remember. That's alleged. I don't really know. But anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to cope in the moment here. But anyway, when they go to heaven at the end, spoiler alert, and there's dogs, and there's weed, and there's a performance by the Backstreet Boys, I cried. I said, this is actually the perfect depiction of heaven, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is exactly how I would want heaven to look if I went to heaven at this moment, you know, or when I go at some point. So, yeah, top 3 favorite movie, you know, next to Shrek, and Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, obviously. So anyway, that is my DVD collection. I hope that you had a fun time going through it with me. There is really not a lot of DVDs, even though we are at 45 minutes here recording. I didn't even think I'd get that far in. I thought my DVD collection was short, but I did go into a couple of those stories. Please go ahead and tune in to When a Stranger Calls. It's such a good horror movie, especially for its time, and it is fucking scary, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it soon, actually. Even I really want to watch Big Hero 6 tonight. But anyway, that is going to do it for me this week, you guys. Thank you for tuning in yet again. Keep your head up. Keep fighting. And find a little time for joy in your day. Don't feel bad celebrating yourself or your wins or, the people in your life. It's important that we keep on going and keep on fighting. So anyway, that is it for me. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.